So this is the fourth video of motion, how to make like motion graphics kind of stuff or transition in Hydra. And because now I'm in this flow, I'm gonna make another one with transition, something like this. Like basically I want to make this, but I will start from scratch and talk through. Maybe I just keep this pattern because I kind of like this. I just made it like by accident. And how do you do it? Control Shift Enter and then refresh the page. So now if you do render, you see just this, right? And yeah, I'm gonna make some variations of transition from here. So, and by the way, like I found this sweater yesterday on the street. Super nice with these colors. Maybe I make Hydra coding challenge at some point to make this pattern. Anyways, so so this is basically about making mixer. If you haven't watched the last 2 videos or 3 videos, I explain a little bit about it, so please check that out. And okay, let's start. So as the convention I did last time, I make maybe just change a little bit from what I had before. Ooh, I'm really not used to this US keyboard. Okay, so this is where we start, and then so we have O1, which is bottom left, O2, which is top right, and we'll have a mixer, which is O1 layered with source O2, and we're gonna make a mask texture, which is gonna be O3 and out. Just for clarity, I make it 0. So now it doesn't really change anything because right now O3 is bottom right. I don't know which is left and right. O3 is completely black. So the mask basically takes everything out. So if you do this, it's the same. I mean, this is kind of like simple thing I'm demonstrating, but it's kind of like becomes very handy at some point. Yeah, maybe. So this is the mask texture. And this is the mixer. Just with clarity. So this is solid without arguments. Default is 0, 0. And then if you say, hey, I want 1, 1, 1, like white. Oh, this is interesting because I expected that top one. Oh yeah, I didn't evaluate that yet. So basically, if it's white, this mask, then it will completely keep the O2 buffer and just slaps on top of O1. So you just see O2, which is the OSC, rainbow OSC. And it's not rainbow, but we say it like that. And if you have 0, 0, 0, and then you just have completely from O1, which is this kind of distorted something. And this is like important, like sometimes it's important to get back to this kind of basics, because if you start live coding, you get really, easily get confused, and if you change all these things, you can get lost, and sometimes it's very useful to go back to basics. Okay. So I want to do something a little bit more elaborate than just going completely like black and white. So what if I do OSC? And if I just do OSC, it's a little bit like, maybe I can enlarge it. It's a bit blurry. This is really like not transition. It's not really interesting. So in the previous video, I said something like, okay, what if I do 1, 1, but with a threshold? 5, I don't know, 0 for sharp edge. So this will like do like a wipe, because if you do render, you can see that on O3 the mask buffer is going from black to white, but with kind of like smooth swipe transition. So this is just a recap, and what I'm going to do today is, one thing I wanted to do is to add some kind of like what if I have, let's say something like this, but I want to like change the how do I say, like this thickness of these stripes. These are just OSC with threshold, but if I can modulate the width, then I can have a transition. Right now this is like overlaid both together, but I want like at 1.01 shows up, at 1.02 shows up, and then the transition is something like this. And first thing I thought was like, instead of like doing weird texture magic, you can use the, how to say this, anonymous function or arrow function. And what if you just do like sine wave of time, just normalize it. So basically the threshold changes from 0 to 1. If you don't do this, then it's like -1 to 1, so it's a little bit different, you see. Or like if you want some kind of tweening, maybe you want to do ×2, no, yeah, ×2 + 1 maybe. And then this is actually transition, because then you have more time just showing O1, just showing O2, but there's this like transition between with these OSC pattern, and you can apply this to any other texture like Voronoi. Yeah, I don't really like this. But maybe noise. But what's tricky with noise is actually the noise texture is from -1 to 1. I emphasize this every time in the video, but what's happening here is, I think you want without +1. So the threshold goes from -1 to, in this case, -2 to 2. So you have like both textures with like equal amount of time shown, which is kind of like a little bit detailed. But if you just do this, then you have more time with black, with its O1 texture, and less time with O2 texture, which is also interesting. So you can actually like modulate this time with like playing with this parameter. And because I'm obsessed not using this thingy, I was thinking like, what would be the easiest way to do it? By the way, without this modulation, you just see the noise pattern like this, which is not what I want. And the easiest thing I thought is to add another OSC, which is like low frequency, or you could even pixelate it with 1. I mean, this is 1, so that. So what's gonna happen with this now? Maybe I need to add the second parameter of add is the multiplier. So OSC is normally from 0 to 1, but if you do this, then it becomes 0 to 2. And maybe I will subtract the texture with this, so I normalize the color from -1 to 1. So now it's like black, and then I think in this case I have to do thresh 0. Why? Wait, is this really right? Yes, something like this. Or maybe I would multiply by 3, so it's like black. Okay, let's see the result, like the big thingy. It's kind of nice, and it's like similar to what I did in the last video, I think. I keep this so that you can, I post this sketch later and you can play with it. So the OSC version would be Yeah, 0.5 here, I think. And I don't know if they both have equal amount of time. Maybe, maybe not, but doesn't matter. The transition looks nice. Okay, this is one thing. And another mask texture I want to make is to do some kind of like bars like going in and out. And this is very tricky. So something I want is same idea. 3. So I start from here, but then I want this to move like up and down, kind of like coming in from the top and the bottom with like, you know, this alternating pattern. And the thing with this OSC is this becomes a little bit conceptual, but OSC is like massive pattern. Like if you do scale, you still see that the completely the surface. Okay, maybe I render with all 3, just a mask pattern. No matter what you put in this here, like it's actually like filling the whole space. Like OSC is massive, but now I want to like kind of crop this OSC. Wait, it doesn't work that way. Mask with shape. So nothing changes because I'm just cropping with the shape, which is like filling this whole window. But if you do scale later, you can see that now it's not expanding to the whole space. This is a little bit conceptual. And why is it important? Because now if I do modulate, I don't know, something, you can see that it goes like flies away. And I just want to do color 0, 1 so that it's only going to the Y direction. I like to use this trick with dot color 0, 1 so that it's just going in the Y direction instead of doing modulate Y, because this is different. Oh, modulate scroll Y, I think. Yes, now you see that nothing is changing because it's doing some wrapping thing here so that this is not, yeah, it's different. Okay, so we stick to this, and again, if you don't do masking, then it's the same as like modulate scroll Y. Is this kind of weird wrapping issue, and for some reason this is needed. It's really not intuitive, but that's how we do it here. But I put the link to the sketch down below so you can try it out instead of like writing all these things, because I know it's very annoying. And the other thing I want is basically add another texture to it that is almost the same, but 2 things are different. One is that it's modulating to the other direction. So let's do it like this. Do I need to explain? Yes. So it's kind of modulate scroll Y, but it's going, not pushing upward, but if you flip the sign, then it will go, wait, I need to do option, no, alt, enter, and add is not, yes, I need dot, yes, here, and it's kind of now like splitting the thing, which is also interesting. But what I really want here is that these stripe patterns alternate, and this is very also non-intuitive. You might think like scroll X, and it might work. I'm just passing whatever value. Wait. really confused now. I'm very confused. The way I do it, anyways, is that, so basically I want to shift the phase of OSC, and the way I do it is I use, okay, 0.1, just for clarity, and here I do math pi, so that the way it works is like, you think this is like make it colorful. The way it works is that the green channel remains the same, but red channel and blue channel shifts, and that's why you see like difference in color, no longer grayscale. And I just want red channel. Okay, so this is what I wanted. I know this is like magic, but yeah, maybe I just put, just for demonstration, like, okay, this is really not a good demonstration because what is happening is, okay, maybe 0 math.pi. So now it's stopped. And if you don't have this parameter, you see that it's shifted. And this can move your OSC, and you just take R. It might work with B as well. Oh, then it flips. G, probably this remains the same. Anyways, you just follow this. And now you have one OSC that goes to the upward direction, and another slightly phase shifted OSC goes downwards. And now I want maybe, no, modulate, maybe not 1, but 1.5 or something, and minus 0.1, minus 1.5, so that you have more time. No, that's not true. Or, wait. I mean, this is live coding, like I practice before filming, but it's not really complete. Okay, I think what I need to do here is to, wait, modulate. Oh, maybe this has to be threshold. Is that true? No, I mean, that's really funny. Anyways, you have something like this, and no, I think it's true. This has to be threshold here. Yes. Sometimes the order matters. Yes. So I put this in here as well. Yes, this is really hard to read, but don't worry, I will put the link in the link. Maybe a bit less harsh. Yes, that's nice. And then we can see the result with this masking with O0. So now there's like smooth transitioning between the two textures. And that's it. I'm gonna Control Shift Enter and keep this code in the description so you can try it out already. And if you have questions, please write down below in the comments so I can see it. Or I really appreciate people encouraging me making these. So yeah, any comment like is very much helpful. So thank you very much, and maybe I just show the final render with 4 screens before I finish.